Okay, first off, mastoid and mastois. One has to do with the breastbone, one has to do with the bosom of a woman, right? It's not spelled M-A-T-O-I-D, right? It's spelled M-A-S-T-O-I-S. I don't know. So, you're denying John's spelling of the word, which means something different. And it's between you and John. I'm just bringing it up. If you have a problem with the word John used that is associated with female breasts, and he's the only disciple to see Jesus on the cross, that's between you and him. Now, John's obviously changing the word from stethos in chapter 13 to mastois, right? It's not mastoid, and I keep telling you that too, right? You're trying to change the word. Didn't John say you'll go to hell and be with Satan for all eternity for lying on the word? For changing what he wrote? Yes, you're going to hell. Get used to it. No. Everybody is. Most everybody. John's just hoping at least 2 witnesses might get what he's saying. Do you understand? And it don't matter someone's opinion about Mary's role at the wedding at Canaan, right? They're exaggerating what happened. No, they are. Another problem with people is they don't know Jesus is the bridegroom. In chapter 3, John identified Jesus as the bridegroom, right? But the governor of the feast went to the bridegroom and told him that was the best wine he ever had. Now, there's another reason Mary would be involved with the wedding, too, is if she what? Was helping out her son who was the one getting married. But don't play that. Stupidity, right? But you might be like, well, why is John the only one to point out he married in Canaan? Because he's also the one to talk about the woman caught in the act of adultery, who was brought to Jesus. See, you're forgetting. Mary, when she was found pregnant, was brought to Joseph. The attention that she went to Elizabeth's house is where they thought she probably ran into a man who seduced her, right? Like, when she came back pregnant, he was going to put her away privately, but then the angel of the Lord spoke to him in a dream and told him not to, right? That still means he was going to stone her privately, not publicly, right? And not make her a public spectacle. That was the best thing he could do for her. Is not let people know why she was being stoned, right? But he, her husband, her betrothed, is the only one who can determine her fate, as is Jesus, the only man who could determine his own wife's fate. And I told you in the Greek it uses wife and woman, right? 2 words are used there, not one. Now, if you spoke a little Greek or cared enough to look into the Greek, you would know this too. That means they're purposely misleading you that the woman is really Jesus' wife. Now, why they're doing this? Ask the Roman Catholics. Ask Constantine. He's the one to do it. And when you lie, Catholics, what does the Bible say happens to you? You go to hell. All of you. then you die. That's why Isaiah says hell has enlarged herself or itself. Because you all go there if you're not doing the will of God. That's why you don't care. When you don't care, you lie with Satan. Maybe both ways. Now, what you're doing with me is I'm trying to find a wife, and I don't know who she is, and yeah. I don't mind sleeping with a woman. I don't mind sleeping with a woman. Uh-oh. Drum roll, please. But it's time for an overhaul. It's time for a rude awakening. It's time to set your butt straight and get you to either fly right or go home. Damn. But you might be like, well, why is God so hard on us? Why shouldn't he let Satan, whom you're following, control your fate? You're making him your God in place of God, and therefore your punishment fits his idea of the crime, right? Be it homosexuality, according to him, is a crime, right? I don't care if you do it. God can't stop you from doing it. Never said it could, right? But it is wrong, right? Why? It's the opposite of how we reproduce, right? It's nothing but for sexual reasons. That's what Satan would say to you as to why you can't do it, right? Not me. Satan himself, if he were to manifest and tell you why you can't be gay. But he won't do that. He wants you to be gay and trap you into a sin, right? That's what he does best. And trap you into the sin too, right? He don't do it willy-nilly. He'll even give you his own butt first, right? And vagina to confuse you, right? And then you think, well, it feels the same, right? If I'm doing it with the butt or the vagina, right? But it's not the same. It's not the same. One hole is an exit only, I was taught. One hole is where babies come from. And only that one hole. And only that one hole. That's how it was put to me. That hole you can even not get the woman pregnant and make love to, right? But, not the other hole. Not the other hole. Not even on a woman. And only one woman volunteered that one time, but I still kind of turned her down, right? But anyway, I didn't really push shit. But she had lube. And, wasn't judging her either. Now, the big problem, like I told you before, is condemnation itself. Oh, no. Okay? When you say, that's wrong, it is wrong, right? But you're also condemning yourself by both doing it and not stopping your doing it. So when you do that, of course, right? God knows you did it. Satan knows you did it. Right? You know you did it, and your partner knows he did it too, or she did it too, or whatever, right? But you might say, well, we love each other. Who says you don't? Right? But you're both, by the nature of the offense, and the one you're offending, admitting it's wrong, right? By doing it anyway. Not doing it anyway. Because you can. Because you can. Now, that don't mean I hate you. I'm trying to tell you why Satan knows you're not supposed to do it, but will do it with you anyway, and why it's a sin, right? Because you can do it. It's like murder. Can you murder someone here? Yeah, yeah. But are you supposed to do it? No. It's like someone stealing the lawnmower yesterday. Mm-hmm. Cut my grass too, but again, right? I can't do the edges now. Mm-hmm. Not as well. Not as well. That's what the lawnmower is for. But I own that one. This one I'm still paying on. Is that why you took it, not the bigger one? Plus, it would be harder to haul off and take more time than put the little one in the damn truck or something. I know you had to put it in a vehicle to take it off, right? And it sure as hell was not out for trash. Right? Both lawnmowers were out. Do you think the trash guy came by and took the lawnmower because it was close to the road? And that both lawnmowers and the garage was open? Probably so I could cut the grass when I got home later on that night. Now, nobody throws away, though, a perfectly good lawnmower. Mm-hmm. And the trash can wasn't at the road. Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't. No. Mm-hmm. One was in front of the other, and they were about halfway up, but not at the corner, right, of the property. Right? You don't assume then that I'm throwing away the lawnmower and wanting to trash it because there wasn't even a lot of trash in the trash can, right? That's a possibility. Was trash day that day. But I wouldn't have both lawnmowers out and throwing away one of them that and they're both good lawnmowers. But one was kind of by the trash can, of course, in front of the other lawnmower. Because when I'm done cutting the grass, I cut the edges with that lawnmower in the side of the house, right? And I go into the bushes, right? If some idiot from waste management or whatever, right? Waste pro, want to play dumb like I'm throwing away a perfectly good lawnmower. No, no. I wasn't, no. But if you still got the lawnmower, just bring it back. It wasn't thrown away. You're making me file a police report on it. Right. Yes, there's one that doesn't work, but it's still in the friggin' garage. And anyway. Now, another point posed, I don't just talk about one topic, right? But I did my COVID test, like I said, right? Hmm. Ain't heard from them yet, so it must be good so far. Nothing bad to report, right? And they got both numbers, so I'm still functioning well. Mm-hmm. Taking the meds, you know, whatever. But is it John's mistake or your mistake for not seeing the word John used there? Not seeing how it's spelled. There's a big difference between an S in the Greek and a D. They're not the same letter, never will be. And even if coincidentally one means breastbone, right? That's not the word John used. In fact, when they struck their chests, even in Luke, Luke still used stethos. When they smote their breaths, seeing what was done that day. That word too is stethos, right? Though I'm sure it's referring to even the women there, right? But all you can do is try to tell someone. You can't condemn them either to be of God, right? You just warn them, look, that's Satan, not God, right? He's been lying to us about this. He's been diverting us from the truth for 2,000 years since Jesus left. And it's also because he don't want you to know he's one too. Everyone from heaven has to be a hermaphrodite to assume an adult human form. Why? Like Adam, they're becoming human, right? From the invisible heavenly realm where they're gaseous beings, not physical beings, right? I keep telling you why. Unless, like Jesus, you're born of a woman who knew no man and start as an embryo, right? Which is the difference between what he did and why, even if he was with 8 women, including his wife who committed adultery with him, who he divorced, according to Matthew 19, they're asking him about divorce. They're asking him about a woman who knew 7 men, right? In one of their parables. And Mark says 7 devils were cast out of Mary Magdalene. What does that mean? well, it don't mean they didn't ejaculate in her. It means they didn't get her pregnant. Right. When they did. They'll read the account of Tamar. There's 2 of them in the Bible. One was raped by her half-brother, and one was done wrong by Judah, right? Whose second-born spilled his seed on the ground and did not raise up seed to his brother. Instead of looking at it as his son would receive the inheritance of his brother, right? And could kind of take care of him, he spilled his seed on the ground, right? They don't tell you about that one in Sunday school class all the time either, do they? Right? Now, he's not masturbating. The Bible even covers spilling your seed with a woman on your garment or clothes or skin, whatever, right? And with the woman, right? Well, there's only one way to do it without a woman. That's either a wet dream or taking care of business yourself. Right, right. One's with the woman and one's without a woman. So one must be masturbatory and one must not be, right? Just common sense, right? And he's talking about it like you can all do it. You can all do it. But talk to someone in Sunday school class today and they're all offended by it, right? But read the Bible and it says you can do it with a woman or without a woman, though you're just unclean to evening, just wash off, right? Keep yourself a little clean there, right? You know, wash your sheets once in a while. Things like that. Hello, hello. But there again, it all depends. It all depends. Get me a junket, don't you? Have a nice day.